Hello, hello. I am Miss Ashrox, or you can call me Ashley. I am the Tiltify community manager, and today I'm so excited. We have ShaunZomGaming talking with us about all his charity efforts that he has had with Tiltify. So let's get to know you a little bit better. Introduce yourself, and let's talk about your content creation journey.
Sure. I am Shaun Zom of ShaunZomGaming.
Mhm.
I started the whole content creation thing I'd say it was about 4 years ago ish. It all really started where I had finally built my first gaming PC, and I
Wow.
had set it up with virtual reality, and I'd started playing that. And I found that I could use like OBS to record game clips and stuff just so I
Mm-hmm.
could show some friends at work. And so I was uploading those clips to my music YouTube channel. I'm also a musician. And I kind of got to this point where I was like, it doesn't really, they don't belong there. Other people are
Yeah.
going to that channel to see my covers and other things. I should probably make a different channel for it. So I made ShaunZomGaming and started uploading just clips to that. And so all of a sudden, the company that I was working for had a huge bunch of layoffs and I lost my job. And so it was literally the
Oh,
day after I had lost my job. I woke up that day and a new video game had just come out for VR, and I recorded a playthrough of it. I honestly couldn't tell you why I decided to record the entirety of it, but I did for some reason and decided, okay, I'll just upload it. And then I'll just tell my friends, hey, if you want to see this game that I'm playing, like check it out. And it turned out that I was like one of the first 5 people in the world to upload a full playthrough of this game.
wow.
I hadn't even considered being like a content creator. I
Mhm.
wasn't thinking, oh, like this is good. A lot of people are going to see this. It was really just I'm recording myself and being myself while I'm playing it, and I'm just going to throw it up. And so later that day, I checked the channel. I was like, oh my God, like there are so many people watching this video and commenting and subbing to my YouTube channel. This is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Man, like, and so I was reading the comments and they'd be like, oh, can you do this in the game? And I'm like, oh, I think I can. So I'd record myself doing it and then just post it. And so I just started posting more of this one game because people just kept watching it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I mean, I didn't have a job, so I had free
Yeah,
time to kind of mess around.
exactly.
And so pretty quickly got like monetized, and day after day, it was really just blowing up. Like I was shocked. So that kind of led
Wow.
me into just, I'm going to just start making videos while I'm looking for another job and seeing where it takes me. And so it moved into other games, and just kept building. And then one day I was like, oh yeah, like there's this whole live streaming aspect of YouTube. Why don't I play the game that everybody was watching and I'll stream it? And so I didn't tell anybody about it. Like I didn't really have any social media based around my channel or anything. I just
Wow.
went live
You just went
and
live.
and was like playing the game. And all of a sudden I had 1,000 people watching me. And it was just like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy. And all these people typing and I was,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, I'll try that for you, and trying the thing in the game and whatever. And I mean, I streamed for like 45 minutes or something like that. And I had such a
Wow.
good time that I thought, okay, I'm just going to do this every once in a while. So
Mhm.
I would just randomly pop on and stream for like half an hour sometimes. Like I wasn't taking it that serious. But then when I saw that things were really growing, I was like, I have this time. Maybe I should just start like I'll make a schedule and I'll start streaming for a little bit here and there. And so that moved out of just being in the VR space to playing a bunch of other games, because I wanted to play video games, and I was like, oh, I'll just stream it. And that really started the whole trajectory of like, oh, I guess I'm a streamer now. I guess this is part of what I
Wow.
do. So I was still making YouTube videos like crazy. Like I was putting out back then, I was putting out 3 videos a day, like
A
all
day?
a day. Like all I would do, I would literally spend hours in the morning just recording. And
Mhm.
then I would spend the rest of the evening with my partner. And then when they would go to bed, I would just edit all those videos and queue them all up to go out the next day. And that's what I did every single day for like 2 or 3 months. I mean, it was just because I didn't really have much else to do except wait for that call from for an interview for a job.
Yeah. So you
And
have
so
pro editing skills. Is that what you're saying?
no,
Is
so
that
like
under your belt?
I'll be fully honest with you. the reason why at this point I don't really make much content for YouTube is because I don't have those skills. And back then, 4 years ago, you could get away with just doing playthroughs where literally it's just like, hey, what's up? I'm Shaun. Here we go. And then you just, there's the video and it's not edited. It's just the pure raw content. And people loved it back then, you know, like that doesn't really fly nowadays. So while I do still put out content on my YouTube channel, like I have an editor that cuts my stuff together. So it's, you know, it's got that very fast cuts and the subtitles and, you know, what people are looking for now.
Exactly.
And so I was streaming on YouTube for about 6 months total. And it just kind of got to this point where I started meeting other people who were streamers and they were over on Twitch. I even met like, I'd started contracting at a company that was a video game based company. And a couple of them streamed on Twitch. And I was like, oh, I wish I could raid you or something, you know. And they would talk about how they would get random raids depending on what game they were playing and how they got a lot of new people in based off of just being at a certain spot in the directory or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, YouTube doesn't really have a directory, you know. It's just kind of like you're in the gaming directory and you're live and that's it. So the only people who were finding me were people who were just finding my video while I was live and then came in. So I wasn't growing much. I kind of like just hit this wall on YouTube, and I'd seen, you know, like I definitely had a big separation between the people who watched my videos and the people who watched me stream, right? Like there's a lot more people who were watching videos than watching me stream, and I just didn't feel like I was growing there. And felt this lack of community outside of, you know, I had my core viewers, but there wasn't really community amongst other streamers. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try and switch over to Twitch, you know. And I had already had a Twitch account from like the very beginning, just that I was using to, you know, chat with people. It wasn't built to be my actual channel. So I just kind of turned that on, updated it with all my my branding and everything like that. And then had said, okay, for the next 2 weeks, we're going to do this restream thing where you stream to both YouTube and Twitch so that I can get affiliate over on Twitch. And the first day we hit a affiliate, like literally that night after that stream, because I technically had the account already and it had been 30 days, whatever, you know. And so I just did it. So I got that email, got affiliate, and then we just, boom, switched everything over to Twitch. And so that was about 3 years ago. So that led me to Twitch. Growing there, and I made a lot of friends, whether just, you know, my community has grown so much, but also amongst other streamers and everything. And that's 100% because I switched to Twitch and stopped streaming just on YouTube.
The cool thing about Twitch is that it feels like a family. All the creators that I meet, I'm like, you're my family, you're my friends. So it's definitely a real homey feel when you are on Twitch, and I love it. We bleed purple, right?
For sure.
So that is awesome. Wow. So you've come a long way and you have been in a game for a while. But let's go back. What VR game did you record?
Okay. So it was a game called Rick and Morty Virtual Reality. So it was the penultimate Rick and Morty video game, I guess. And this was when Rick and Morty was super popular. So it was just, you know, so I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hope this doesn't blow any of my original fans away, but like I've been known forever as the Rick and Morty VR guy. And Rick and Morty's, it's fine. It's fine. I think it's funny, but I do not, it's not, I feel like people think I have this, like that I absolutely love it. Like I think it's the greatest thing in the world. And that has been difficult.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay for you.
Yeah, it has been very difficult for me because still, even to this day, you know, 3 years later, random people will come into my Twitch chat and go, hey, when are you going to play more Rick and Morty? And it's like, oh, this still happens. Because it used to, I mean, when I was on YouTube, I would consistently get people who would come and chat and be like, hey, can you do this in this part of the game? And I'm like, what? We're playing, you know, we're playing Enter the Gungeon or something. Like, I mean, you can just comment on the video and I'll get, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be rude to them. I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, of course. But it's definitely been something that's stuck with me forever. And a lot of my community members that have been with me since the beginning, they'll bring it up. It's a consistent joke at this point, you know.
Well, I'm going to go back and check out those videos. They're still up, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's still
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
I'm gonna have to check those out. That is so awesome. Thank you for telling us your whole story.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm glad you're enjoying your journey on Twitch. And now you're on the road to Twitch partner, probably. That's your next goal.
For sure. I mean, I think that anyone who's on Twitch, like, it's a
Yeah.
goal. For me, it's something that would be a good achievement, something that I'd be proud of for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really just about like growing that community. And of course, having more viewers brings you to partner. But for me, it's like, creating this like place where people can come in and feel like they can be themselves. And I mean, like, I was the kid in high school and middle school, so in school times, like
Hmm.
getting bullied, and and felt like I couldn't necessarily be my full nerdy self. Even though
Correct.
I could be my full nerdy self, but I felt like it affected relationships and things like that. And so
Hmm.
I like to build a place where we nerds and non-nerds can come together, and we can really like create friendships, and not just like
I love that.
these weird not weird, but like online relationships where you don't really know these people or care. It's just, yeah, this person I game with or talk to. Like, I feel like our community is really forming true bonds between people. And in my Discord, I see it a lot where somebody's like, I'm struggling with X, Y, or Z, and 2 or 3 people will jump right in, like, hey, like, you can DM me, like, let's talk about it. Or somebody comes into my chat and mentions something, and one of my mods will be like, hey, I can, we can DM right now, like, let's
I
talk about it.
love that. I love that.
And it makes me so happy to see that. Same thing with like, hey, does anybody in here want to play Overwatch or something? And people, yep, I'm jumping in right now. And so
Hmm.
that aspect of it is really what keeps me doing it. I still feel like we don't use the term small streamer, we say growing
No.
streamer, of course. So
Yes.
so I'm a growing streamer for sure. But what keeps me going, even though feeling like, oh, are we growing a lot? Is this worth the amount of time? To me, it's always worth the time, because I'm seeing those results. I'm seeing, oh my God, like, these people are awesome, and I'm learning so
Yeah.
much, and I'm making friends, and so
Win-win.
it's very, it's a
Win-win.
special thing. It's really hard to describe to people who don't understand streaming and being,
Yeah.
a face on a screen for somebody for 4 hours a day,
Hmm.
or per stream, whatever. But that's what keeps me doing it. So of course, partner would be awesome. But for me, it's really just like continuing to grow the community.
And that's what I love to hear. I tell all creators, I'm like, just focus on growing your community and you will get there. It's all about the relationships at the end of the day and the
Totally.
people that you impact. So I love that. Speaking of goals, we got to get into the good talk here.
Yeah.
So last year, correct? We
Yeah.
had a lovely fundraiser through Tiltify for Dana-Farber
Mm-hmm.
Cancer Institute. And I want to talk about what happened last year.
All right.
So what influenced you to fundraise for this cause?
Okay, so in November of 2019, my older sister was diagnosed with leiomyosarcoma, which is a super rare type of cancer. It was obviously devastating to our whole family. And going through the initial steps of, finding out what it is, how to treat it, kind of felt like there really wasn't a lot of answers. The initial doctor that my sister had gone to, more or less, it was like a shrug emote, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Yeah.
there is no road to recovery. There is no like go-to setup here. We really don't know. And so it was just this terrifying moment of just like, what do you mean? Like, it almost sounded like there's nothing we can do, And so obviously it's time to get a second opinion. And so she went and got connected to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, where she was introduced to this doctor. And we're lucky enough to live in the Boston area. So we're right next to it. And they have the best, treatment options and doctors available. And so she went there, and that whole mindset of going like, well, we don't know what we're going to do, turned into, okay, here are like 4 different options. We're going to get you to see this person, then this person, then we're going to do this, and literally like turned everything around. So it really did so much for my sister, of course, but also for the family, just going like, okay, all right, we're fighting this, like, we can do this. And so it really just it turns all around. So like, obviously I fell in love with Dana-Farber in general. And
Mm-hmm.
so my first year on Twitch, I had what, you know, a streamiversary, as I called it. So my
Yeah.
first year on Twitch, it's like, all right, we're here, streamiversary. And I made like goals and, you know, and incentives and stuff. And it was kind of like a subathon, which basically was like,
Okay.
yeah, give me money and I'll keep streaming. And like, this is basically me raising money for myself. And it was
Mm-hmm.
fun. It was awesome. We did a long stream, like lots of cool things happened or whatever. But last year was, we were kind of leading up to be my second streamiversary. And I was like, wait, you know what? Like we can do these, like how hard is it to do charity streams? Because I see all these people doing them. And I wonder if there's one I can do for Dana-Farber. Because
Mm-hmm.
especially last year when COVID hit, they weren't able to do a lot of their fundraising things that they
Oh,
normally do. So they were kind of like
wow.
short. So they were in a bad spot, and just like, yeah, anything, you know, they could do to get more money was obviously helpful. So
Yeah.
so like I was like, you know, I wonder, you know, so I looked into Tiltify, and I'd emailed some people looking around. I think I Googled like Dana-Farber charity, whatever, and Tiltify was the one that came up. And I'd seen some others that didn't have Dana-Farber on there or available. So I immediately jumped into Tiltify. I emailed back and forth with Tiltify to make sure that this was all the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually like that got connected through to Dana-Farber itself. So then, and so them and the Jimmy Fund started contacting me. And I
Yeah.
mean, I guess it was so easy to set up. It was incredible. Just a few steps, and all of a sudden I was ready to go. So
Awesome.
once I had that, I started reaching out to a few friends, like artist friends that own
Mm-hmm.
companies, and of course some big companies. But that's really hard as a growing streamer to like get in there, you know, that you're not like
Yeah.
sponsored, you know, reaching out to keyboard and headphone companies, etc. Just to be like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Do you have anything that maybe you could give away? Like, you know, just trying to, you know, you got to shoot your shot every
You
time.
always shoot your shot.
Yeah.
It's not, don't base it off of your size ever.
Right.
Cause
Right.
yeah, they're going to always support the impact that you're doing, you know,
Exactly. You know,
impact over numbers.
yeah, totally. And that's what I
Yeah.
had hoped, you know, and saying, I'm trying to do this big thing, you know, here's my story and here's what's up.
Mhm.
But that didn't come through. But like a lot of my friends did, like my artist friends and my buddy that
Mhm.
we've got like some gift cards, and then we got a bunch of custom artwork, and so on and so forth. So I basically created all these different goals and incentives and how we would do that. I also made like my own mystery wheel that you could just basically, for X amount of donation, spin the wheel and you could win, you know, like a ShaunZom shirt. You could win my band CD signed by me. You could win one of my band
Wow.
shirts. You could win, and my partner and I made these mystery boxes and stuff. So, you know, those were like for small donations. And then, you know, going
Wow.
up, we had all this stuff. And so at this point, like leading up to it, you know, my sister was losing all her hair. And so I said, look, if we reach my goal, I'll shave my head. Like I'll shave my head
Yeah.
to match you, you know?
Mhm.
And so I
It's so sweet.
initially, so I had set a goal of, I believe my initial goal was like $2,000. That was, I think that's what I first had said, that was my goal. But the night before the stream, I get a message from a friend of mine who is in my community, but came from another community. And this is where
Mhm.
I'm trying not to be confusing. But so I had met, I'd met another streamer who ran a stocks stream.
Okay.
Basically randomly one day I was streaming during the day, and he had rated me with like 700 people, and I went nuts, and I won a lot of them over, I guess you could say. And they started coming to my streams more regularly, and I became really good friends with this other streamer. And so what happened was, leading up to this big streamiversary, that streamer had advertised my streamiversary on a stream for a week in front of hundreds of people all day, every day that he was streaming.
Mhm.
So the night before, I get a message from one of their main mods, and he says, hey, I just wanted to double check what your goal was. And I said, well, it's $2,000. He goes, you need to raise that up like a lot. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I feel like I'm spilling the beans here, but we got a lot of people that are ready to donate tomorrow, and we don't want to ruin your whole day by doing it all at once. So you should really raise that. And I'm like, Okay. And I mean, and honestly, because
Yeah.
I was like, okay, knowing the size of my community, like even saying $2,000 was a lot of money. Like I was like, I probably won't get this in 12 hours. I'll probably have to. And so my goal was, I'll do 12-hour stream or however long, and then until we reach that goal, I will just keep it open. You know, that was the idea. So the next day, that streamer did a surprise stream first thing in the morning before I started mine. Mine was at 10 a.m. He started at like 9:45 or something and loaded everybody up and then rated me with everyone. And then, so right in the very beginning of the stream, we had tons of people. Wow. So within 90 minutes, my goal of $5,000 was hit within 90 minutes.
Wow.
So I immediately was like, what do I do?
What do you do now?
Yeah, like, okay, you just hit all the goals. Like I got to shave my head. I have, and all these other things that I had in between. Like, okay, I need to start coming up with some ideas. So we just started throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what people would want. And so I had raffled off a couple things. And then I said, yeah, I really want to do an auction, but I couldn't figure out the right way to do an auction because I have some of these art pieces. I have some other items that would be great to auction off instead of just raffle away, so we can raise more money, but I don't know how to do it. And somebody just goes like, give me half an hour. And I'm like, all right. 30 minutes later, he sends me a link. He goes, okay, here's your ShaunZom Dana-Farber Discord. Go in there. There's a auction house in there where people just have to join, and then we can do auctions on things. Like he literally got all the code together and built it in 30 minutes. And so I was nervous about, well, what if people, you know, bring up the price and then they don't pay, right? So the idea was basically like, okay, well, if you're going through the trouble to join the Discord and go through this, and you know, and you have X amount of time after you win to donate that money before we take the next person, you know, and it worked out. And people wanted to donate money. So I think one of the most ridiculous was one of my buddies from my community wanted this pack of stickers from one of my artist friends. And it's literally maybe $12 worth of stickers. And I think he spent like $800 on them. He just was like, no, I want them. And so other people were just pushing up the price because they knew he would just keep going. And next thing you know, $800. And then Jimmy Fund jumped in and they're like, hey, we have a jersey that we haven't released yet. It's not even printed yet. You can auction that off and we'll send it out to whoever wins it. And that sold for like $500 for a t-shirt. So, I mean, so all of a sudden it was just going crazy and people were jumping in and DMing me, be going, hey, throw a $60 Steam game on there. Just raffle it off right now. And so people were just consistently just donating like crazy. Like I had to keep switching. I had to keep switching incentives because I was like, okay, I don't have enough time to do all this for you. Because I had initially been like, I'm going to write you a song on stream, you know, like I'm going to do it right now, but I just didn't have the time. And it just got crazy and I couldn't keep up with it. And luckily my mods were super helpful, keeping track of everything. So I didn't have to chase people down. And with Tiltify, I had set up some stuff where it was just like $1, like I won something and need to give you my address because there is that option for putting in your address. So, you know, if you won something that it would cost you $1 basically to get whatever you won so that you could put that in. And then later the next day or whatever, when I was getting packages together, I could just bring up all the addresses and everything in Tiltify. And so it just went crazier and crazier. We, you know, I had said I'd shave my head and then somebody said, you should do a mohawk, you should do whatever first. And I go, all right, we're going to auction off who gets to decide what I do with my hair. And so somebody paid like $500 to decide that I do like the friar look where we just shave a top circle and then around. And so I did that for a while. And then we did another one for what's the next one. And then some, you know, people paid to have me cut it into like the, like a Munchkin from Munchkin Land, like with the bow in the front and just the front. And there's pictures of all this stuff.
Oh yeah, we got to attach those.
Yeah, for sure. And it just went off the rails. It was insane. And we were getting near the end. We had been streaming for 14 hours, I think, at that point. And all of a sudden someone came in and donated $5,000. And it was mind blowing. And they said that their family had been affected by cancer and that this was the right thing to donate to. And they were happy to, you know, do something like that. I mean, it was mind blowing how much money people were donating throughout the day, like a lot of small donations, but also, I mean, a lot of big donations came through.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was insane. I got very emotional by the end of it.
Oh yeah.
And
Tired, emotional,
yeah,
all the feelings at
yeah,
once.
it
So
was
what did
wild.
you end up raising total?
So in 15 hours on the dot, we raised $42,069.69
Wow.
on the dot.
In
And that
15
was,
hours.
and it's because it's the internet and Memory is king. And
Yep.
we were
Uh-huh.
we were at, I think we were at like 41,800 or something, and we had all gotten in. So I pulled in everybody into a Discord video call, as many people as Discord could handle. So I was like, if you've donated today, jump on in. And I put it up on the screen. So it's all these people who donated that day. And that's where we realized it's really close to 42,000. We should, and they're like, we got to make it happen. So everybody worked together, and they're like, wait, okay, I got an idea. No one else donate. Boom, $69 and then 69 cents, you know, so that it was like end stream, you know. But I mean, it's just like so ridiculous, of course. But I mean, amazing. I mean, that is so much money.
That is incredible.
It was absolutely insane.
Helping so many people, including your sister. That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Jimmy Fund reached out and said, they're like, you broke the record for most money raised in an online fundraiser. So like we hold the record right now. Community of ShaunZomGaming holds the record.
I got to clap for that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this is so interesting. I've never heard of the auction system through Discord to encourage those donations.
Yeah, it was some bot. And so basically it was just, you know, my mod could set up, okay, it's this item and here's the starting price. And then people, there was like a specific room that was just for it, where people would be like, bid X amount or whatever, and it would pop up, and I'd put a timer on it and go, okay, or I wouldn't put a timer. I'd just be like, okay, we're doing this right now. It's not like throughout the day, it's right now. So, you know, encourage people like, if you want it, let's go. Like, you know, keep pumping it up. And I'm a shoutcaster for video games and stuff. So I would shoutcast all the action as like a auctioneer, you know. And so
that is so exciting and entertaining. Wow.
It was fun.
That's how you keep people engaged. Wow. So are you going to use the Discord trick again for this year?
Yeah, it is in the cards for sure. This upcoming week is where I'm solidifying 100% everything. Like I already have all my incentives and goals and everything written out, ready to go. This year, so similar to like last year where we had to add stuff, I have an initial starting goal. And then once we hit that goal, that's where more goals will get unlocked. So it just gets crazier. Yeah, it gets crazier as things go on. But we do have a few things to auction off. It's just more or less double checking that the auction house still works.
Yes.
And that the guy who set it up before is going to be there, you know, and making sure. But, yeah, we have some really cool stuff to auction off.
What is your goal for this year?
So we're doing the same thing. I'm setting the goal for $5,000 for the initial goal. Mostly, I know that a lot of the people from that other community, from the other streamer, I should shout him out, Wall Street Booyah, but he has not streamed in about 9 months at this point, just because he hasn't been able to. So we don't have that same pump up like we did last year. That's why this is so great to have some, you know, some press, I guess, you know, to try and push it. I do have some other streamer friends that I'm looking forward to them helping, you know, retweet and push it, you know, and tweet about it the day of. But of course, it's always nerve wracking. You know, I'm no matter what, you know, I'm in the mindset of any dollar that we raise is a dollar they didn't have before. So I'm not just being like, we need to beat last year. I in no way feel that way. It is really just, we want to raise as much money as possible. I'm just aware that at least in the beginning, like it's not going to be that initial huge, massive, you know, beginning of the thing, just because we don't have that. I mean, maybe it will. Maybe people will see this or see my tweets or whatever and go like, no, we're going to make this happen. And it'll blow minds. And I mean, I hope so, of course. I mean, either way, it's going to be a really good time.
Good time, good community.
Of stuff. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff set up for the whole day, and it'll be at least 12 hours long. And we're just going to raise as much money as possible.
I love that. So what content do you have planned for the 12 hours?
Well, so last year I had all these ideas that I was going to play all these games, and then like none of
Mm-hmm.
that really happened. So I do have some. I have some games like that like we'll get a group for like Among Us and First Class Trouble. Maybe we'll
Oh
play
yes, great
some
games.
Warzone. I may
Mm-hmm.
do the Wheel of Death with Warzone, which is basically like a wheel we spin. Like you pay an amount of money, I spin the wheel for you, and then I have to like drop my gun, or like
Oh.
uh play left-handed, or like things like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
that's fun.
it's really going to be a lot of chatting and hanging out with everybody. We have some mini games to play, and basically the incentives have a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like even small incentives, which I don't want to spoil, like they're kind of surprises.
Yeah.
um
I'm
but
excited.
yeah, we do have a lot of really cool stuff going on. And we will do some like game shows and stuff like that, like some old school
Okay.
Wii game shows. My partner and I will play. We may bring on some special guests to do some more game show-esque things. But
I like
I
that.
mean, honestly, it's going to be a lot of, interactive stuff, with the community and the people who are there.
Wow. I'm excited. So give us some event details. What's the date for it and the time that we're starting?
So May 22nd, it's a Saturday, and it's going to start
Okay.
at 10 a.m. Eastern.
All
And we will
right.
go at least from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at least. And
Perfect.
if we haven't reached our goal and I'm still alive and energetic, then I will definitely keep pushing through. But the plan is at least 12 hours, May 22nd.
I love that. I'm so excited. Second year fundraising.
Yeah.
Have you fundraised for any other? Um,
So
actually, never
far,
mind. Actually, sorry. Hold on. Boom. Okay. Gonna cut that out.
okay.
What advice would you give a creator during their first fundraiser?
I would say, like, first of all, and I've actually said this a lot to some people asking about charity streams and such, is it is so easy. It is so simple to set up. It will literally take you 5 minutes to log in with your Twitch account on Tiltify, pick what you want to do a charity for, and then your goal, and then it's ready to go. And then from there, you're adding additional incentives and goals. So it's supremely easy.
Yes.
The other thing is, it's make goals you can do, make things that are silly. People don't do anything that would hurt you, but do things that are funny to watch you do, like eat a hot chip, or or draw something on your face, or
Yes.
temporary tattoos, little things like that for small incentives, or anything you can do. If you can do artwork, say like I'll draw you a picture. Or it's easy as I mean, I say easy, but handwriting these days is very difficult considering that we all use computers. But writing handwritten notes is a really good, easy way to be like, hey, for $1, I'll write you a thank you note or whatever. It's I mean, as long as you have, even if you, as long as you have some sort of viewership, as long as there's one person there that may give $1, and you can always start it off yourself. I mean, you're donating your time to set up the whole thing, but put some money aside yourself so that you can donate some money, and then it starts your thing, and people see, oh, this is starting. We're heading towards a goal. We're heading towards something. It's you're helping out by donating, but you're also making your charity stream look like it's working, and that does kind of push people to add to it.
Awesome. I love all of those tips. Thank you so much. Because there's always new creators out there that are wanting to fundraise and they need tips and tricks. They don't know where to start. So those are all great tips. Thank you so much, Shaun.
Yeah.
I
And I like,
appreciate
just
it.
to tack on to that, I just want to say, like,
Yeah.
also use social media to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not good at Photoshop, like make a little
Yes.
image about
Any
what you're
graphic
doing,
works.
any sort of graphic, just get it out there. If there's other streamers you look up to that are, I mean, shoot for the stars, go for the big ones too. But also, if you can find other streamers that are about your size and go, hey, I'm doing this thing, can you just help me out? Just the day of, can you tweet about it, or can you retweet my tweet? I mean, that's literally what I'm doing this year. Is I have a few streamers that are slightly bigger than me or my size that I'm like, hey, the day of, can you just do me a big favor and just retweet this tweet, or can you just tweet about the fact that I'm streaming? Or hey, if you're streaming that day, could you just shoot me your
Mm-hmm.
raid? I mean, I know that's not good etiquette to ever ask for a raid, but like this is a special situation. And I mean, for charity, it seems completely reasonable to
Yes.
ask nicely for such a thing, you know?
Nicely. I like
Yeah.
that. Perfect. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Shaun. Where
Yeah,
can
of
we
course.
find you on social media?
You can find me at twitch.tv/ShaunZomGaming.
All
And you can
right.
find me at ShaunZomGaming on every social platform. So Twitter,
Branding.
Instagram,
Love it.
YouTube, and TikTok.
All right. Thank you, Shaun. And I hope you all enjoyed our talk with Shaun today. And make sure you do go check out his next event on May 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern
That's
to
right.
at least 10 p.m. Eastern.
That's
So
right.
y'all go crazy. Go crazy on that fundraiser. And I am wishing your sister the best. And I hope
Thank you
she is
so
doing
much.
absolutely well and all the people that are at the Institute. So thank you, Shaun, for
Thank
your
you.
time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.